the. Or
You know, I think all of the above.
possible
My dear friend
interest.
Paul asked me to
Oh,
come and be
wonderful.
a part of, and I said yes.
Oh, it'd be really good, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So,
I have his name down so he can't.
yeah.
It's like
official.
Hotel
I think
California.
it's right. It's official. Okay, yes. I just checked in.
Do you want to do introductions, maybe, since we
Yes.
have a new face?
What's that?
Since we have a new face?
Yes, yes. We will do introductions, even though we kind of did. So, we're all up and running there? Okay, wonderful. Welcome. We'll call the meeting to order for City of Canby's Bike Ped Advisory Committee today, August 12th at 6:30. And Michelle, thank you for taking our minutes. And we'll do a quick introduction as we go. And I'll start. I'm Mandy Monacoco. I am chair for the committee, and I've lived here in Canby all my life, avid. I shouldn't say avid of late, but biking has always been a fun thing in my life and everything. So anyway, and I also take part in the Clackamas County Citizen Advisory Group too. So anyway, Michelle, I'll hand it over to you.
Hi, I'm Michelle Bailey. I joined because of all the gaps in our sidewalks around town.
Okay.
So interested since I'm a walker.
Okay.
So this is my second meeting officially.
Perfect.
Waterman City Council.
We do. Yeah.
Tell us about yourself,
Governor
Carter.
Borum, I've lived in Canby for over 5 years with my family. We relocated from the Kaiser area here and just fell in love with this little town and all that it has to offer. And I've been lucky to be a part of some great businesses in the downtown area. I currently help manage Retro Revival right across from Wade Park. I used to
You
manage
worked
King's
for,
Farm to Table and then Wayward Sandwiches.
yeah, well, that's where I know you from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Click,
yes.
click, click.
Yeah, yes. And I'm an avid bike rider. I have been riding bikes since I was a child. I ride to and from work every single day. Unless it's raining sideways or it's icy, then I'll find other ways. But
But
Yeah.
otherwise,
yes. Yeah, and on my days off, you can often see me zipping around downtown, and I live near the country club, and I've kind of mapped out a route to and from downtown, and kind of feels safe for me, and like the roads less traveled, and so
yeah,
I'm happy to
our
be here.
favorite places to ride.
Exactly.
Well, I'm Russ Heineman, and in the spirit of Mindy, I just figured out I've lived here 27% of my life.
Excellent.
Wow.
But I just showed you how old I am. Anyway, I live here in Canby, been here since 2004. Been on the committee for several number of years, not as long as Cliff, Mindy, or Bruce.
But a long time.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. I've I'm Cliff Ash, lived in Canby for 35 years. I'm a short timer and I was riding my bike regularly until I crashed it April 30th.
A big crash. We're lucky we haven't.
Oh, yikes.
How are you doing? Good.
Yeah, coming back.
And you've been a big walker too, and
Yeah.
sidewalk advocate. Yeah. Are you still in PT?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Elvis? Collarbone.
Mhm. And hand is what's slowing me down.
Oh, wow.
Is that? Oh, shoot. Oh, well, I hope you continue to heal well and
It's slow.
raises all our thoughts about why we're here.
According to Bruce, I missed out on a great ride in Idaho.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good one, huh?
uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Emma Porcolo, I am the staff liaison to the committee. I work in the planning department here at the city. And I've lived in Canby for 0 years. But
you've been
commuting
working
for
here.
3.
But commuting for 3,
Yes.
there you go. All right. All right, and we should be reviewing our minutes, and I did nothing with the minutes.
That's okay. We
So
have
that
2
was a
minutes
typo.
today, which is
Yes.
my bad from the last meeting. I apologize. Sorry,
okay.
Russ. We have April, which was our second to last meeting to review, as well as July, which was our last meeting. Should we
Correct.
start with April?
Yeah, let's start with April. And if there are any corrections, please make mention.
Asking to remember all the way back to April.
I know. And if, yeah, I will take a motion when,
We're just looking at April.
As written.
for April. I'll take a motion. Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor? All right, and approved as written, and thank you. And now we will take a look at our,
There's a typo on the
oh,
July 8th, May Riders Run STOP, stop.
oh, thank
There's no
you.
P.
Great.
What was that?
What's that?
There's just a typo.
Oh.
It's just missing a P.
It's just a piece.
It's a
Oh, I see.
stove
Run
sign.
stop sign.
Wait a
That's
minute.
easy to fix.
It's not supposed to be stripping?
Oh, striping. One
There's no
P.
stripping on.
Whoops. Oh.
Is that what you're talking about?
I
No,
said
no,
stop.
the stop sign.
Oh. I don't know.
But
There
is-
would be 2 Ps there.
There are 2 Ps there?
No, it's 2
There
Ps,
should
there are
only
2
be
Ps in
one.
stripping.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
should be just one. Yeah, okay. All right. Otherwise, when you're ready, I'll take a motion. to Pass
Well,
with
since I
that
wrote 'em, I'll
correction. What's that?
I'll move to accept.
I second them.
Second it, great. All in favor? Okay, thank you so much. And we will continue. Next, public comment. Since you're kind of public at the moment, since we don't have you as an official member yet, but is there any observations around town or anything too that come to mind that you think we should put our eyes to, or,
I mean, as of the past.
and I don't mean to put you on the
No,
spot.
no, that's totally
but-
fine. Yeah, no, as of the past year, a lot of this area is under construction. Whether it be 99, Ivy,
Tim?
I mean, there's so many areas, so I think that once kind of we get through all of that, it might be a little easier to assess kind of where things for a bicyclist and pedestrians are. So that I kind of map out my route around town, but I'm all around the area, and there's a couple areas where it seems like for a cyclist or pedestrians, a sidewalk would be beneficial or make the area feel a lot safer. There's some of those side streets and things where obviously they've been there for so many years that might be such a huge undertaking and project where, wouldn't happen. But I'm kind of one that if I run into an obstacle, I turn around or turn a different way and figure out.
Make your way around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think I would have a different view if I had like small children with me. and they were cycling or we were walking a lot, I think that might be raise more concerns for me, for sure.
Thank you.
Well, as time goes on, you'll learn more about the streets and why the streets are the way they are. And why this is a continuing discussion in the
Right.
committee about sidewalks
Right,
and about streets.
yeah,
I think I'm correct in this, but I think 10th is now a city street, isn't it? But it was a county road.
okay,
That's why it was in horrible shape.
right,
And so I've had this mantra that if you run across a really bad street in Canby, it belongs to the county.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, Redwood, when it was, you know, how bad Redwood was for a long time,
Yeah.
and it's much improved now. And thank you, Mayor, for, you know, taking it on, you
right,
know, taking it into the city and stuff. Maple, you know, Maple without sidewalks,
right,
you know, up to north of Territorial.
right,
That's county. And so we kind of have this gap of a county road there because, yeah, anyway. These are the gaps that we really want to look for and encourage, you know, the city to take on and everything. And
okay,
we have also streets that are collectors and main arterials and things like that. And sometimes they might be something we look at and make sure that we get sidewalks in on those first where they're, you know, especially on those more traveled roads.
Right,
Of
okay.
course, it's obvious, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, I've been watching the project on 10th where I live.
yeah. How's it coming?
A lot of dust.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we just need to connect it to,
Well, they didn't, you know, there was 2 sections on 10th that were part of the 10 projects that were selected as, you know, on the list to be done. And so this is one of them
yeah.
and another one on 10th is another one on that list
Oh, it is.
from several years ago.
Yeah.
Further, well, they would continue the improvements east or west on 10.
West to Ivy.
Oh, because it doesn't go all the way to Ivy right now.
No, it goes, the current project goes, I always have trouble with this.
Doesn't start
Locust.
at Pine.
Yeah. Goes to Locust.
Locust, and the next project, Locust to Ivy.
To Ivy. And then
And-
maybe we need
And
to,
past that, it's not even on.
yeah, except I think that's gonna be viewed as kind of one of the next gaps.
Well, not officially yet.
It's true. So maybe we just need to encourage that. Okay, so going on, any new business? Thank you. New business? Otherwise, we will move on. Yes.
So my question I asked last time is, can we get an updated committee list? Like, say I got sick or something happened, I don't
Yes.
know how to get a hold of it.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can send that out. Michelle, I will grab your contact information before you leave tonight, if that's okay, so we can hand it.
Just because my mom spent 14 days in the hospital and she's out now, but had she still been in the hospital, I would have had to call out. Gosh, she got double lung pneumonia, so.
14 days is a long time.
It is a long time. She almost died. It was pretty scary.
Sorry to hear that.
She's better now.
Yes, so let's get that, and then there is an application process which we would love for you to pursue, and it's on the city website.
Wait, send it to.
We can
send them.
discuss, it's got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You know, the questions seem like there's a lot in there, it's intense, but I can, we can find that and send it to you.
It's just kind of going through the process of the application like they have us do, so it's on record.
Right.
And we approve.
Absolutely. Okay.
So, just thrilled you're here. So, and maybe we can, if we can get your email, you might be able to send them a link so that it's, you don't have to search and.
Yes, okay.
Okay, moving on, Bruce isn't here and I was not at the meeting, so for Clackamas County, I do not have an update for you. Otherwise, staff and council update, I'll throw it over to Councilor Waterman and then Emma.
Don't really have much update. We're still moving forward with the logging trail 9090 connection. One thing I want to look into, and I thought I had seen something somewhere, and I want to follow up, and I don't know if anybody heard anything about it. Is there about connecting the logging trail on the north side to like Pine or to off the trail into downtown? Because right now there's no way to get off the logging trail on the north side of town. You have to
That's
go
right.
across it, and then come back and then
Yeah.
come back across
No,
99.
no, there's not a plan.
There's okay. I thought I saw something.
There's a desire from this committee for that,
Okay.
but the
Yes,
city hasn't adopted that as a
I
plan.
feel
saw
like
it somewhere.
way, like in some plan from 20 years ago, there was
There.
maybe some.
yes, in the
type of,
old
like, bridge or
TSP.
You
something.
mean to come off and ride alongside 99?
Yeah,
That
in
would-
the
99 or right by
2010
the-
TSP.
Maybe by the storage area there or something like that connects
Yeah, kind of.
right tonight.
That's what we would like.
Yeah.
There's problems, I think, with how far the railroad property goes out, because you couldn't do it on the railroad, so it has to be beyond that.
And right now, the storage facility is in the way
Yeah.
for that to be done.
We could,
Right.
yeah, because now you have to go down and find it.
What would be
Cut through.
helpful is when they realign Pine and Fourth.
Yeah. Maybe it was part of that.
Maybe it would be part of
I
that.
think maybe because
I
I know I saw
thought so.
something recently about where there was some
Yeah,
talk
because
about that.
until that's done,
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll double check on that.
So something kind of between Pine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so this is that storage, right? I don't know if this is
Yeah.
the whole tax lot.
Storage here, because we're gonna have the connection here now.
Yeah,
You have to come across, go down, and then come back
around, or go all the
That'd be
way
nice.
up to Ninth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a good question. And yeah, so Pine, yeah, if you could.
and the plan is to bring this around this way.
have the Fourth come.
I think that's the.
I thought they were gonna go behind the,
They're going around the museum.
Yeah,
here.
right.
Right over, yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the topography on the north side? Is it equally as elevated and sloped on the north side as it is on the south side?
yes.
yes.
So you almost need like a,
I'm guessing this is private. Obviously private.
yeah, I should have pulled up the tax lot. I guess I can pull
Can
it.
you,
Sorry. I can pull up the tax lots. so you can see. But I'm pretty sure it's all private property. Sorry. So this will show you the tax lot. Logging road. Oh, so this belongs to this house. And then storage.
oh, all that
That's all
belongs to that
railroad.
house?
That's railroad.
Yeah, this is railroad right away. So you could almost like,
So is the railroad being a real hindrance to the moving ahead with that Pine Street intersection that you know of or anything?
No,
What would it be?
no, but the railroad is, there's been some fluff up with the railroad in the city the last year or so because of the garden stuff on 99.
Yeah.
So they made the city here
Take it out.
take it all out.
Yes.
So there's some miscommunication about what they can do and when and where and stuff. So it's been a bit of a little bit of a contention.
It sounded like the mayor, had some frustration and kind of picking your battles with the railroad a little bit there as far as doesn't want to.
It is their
Property.
so there's only
so much
you can do. But
totally, absolutely. Just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, any further updates on anything? I might add something. I'm on that comprehensive plan.
Yes, I have one thing I want to address before that, and then Mindy, I would actually like your help because you were there and I wasn't.
Sure.
So there has been some changes regarding the striping on the logging road. So back in the early winter, fall, early spring, we were talking about trying to get that paving in the budget plan. And unfortunately, all city departments had to find somewhere to make cuts within their budgets this year. And Jerry was out on leave at the moment, so it was decided that was, a low-hanging fruit project that would be removed from the list. So that got taken out of the budget. And the last.
You mean the striping or the striping or the paving?
All of it.
Striping down by the river. And where would the paving have been? Or any repaving or something?
The
We
paving
wanted was kind of patch, right? The paving was patch work where there was issues, if I recall correctly, or
with some of the
largely
roots
the
growing up.
north portion of the trail, like north of 99.
Yes.
So to my understanding, all of that was removed. The striping specifically was brought up at the parks meeting, the last parks meeting. They talked a little bit more about I think that the conversation started about the e-bike regulations, which I listened back to the meeting, and I think that they're a little bit confused about the e-bike regulations and kind of where we're landing on that. The Parks Advisory Board.
I thought that the state had adopted e-bike regulations and
Yes,
that
they
Canby
have.
goes by.
They have, and
They
I
don't
think
understand
they
it?
just didn't understand kind of what the state's allowances are, and I think they were still seeing it as black and white, whereas, we were talking about speeds and regulations, not, permitted or not. So, maybe it's worth.
So where did they land?
They were just kind of discussing it. There was no landing, but they did discuss the striping and kind of, they felt like the striping was not, a high priority item to, allocate costs to right now. And that painting requires annual maintenance. I just kind of was watching the video and took some notes, but that was a few weeks ago, so I apologize, can't remember the details. That painting requires annual maintenance, feels that's not enough of a problem to warrant the work. They suggested educating, or I suggested that. So I think for the e-bike regulations, they were worried that this all may require more signage and posting rules that we cannot enforce. Where I think that's just where the disconnect of understanding is happening. And what Jerry said in the meeting was that the striping work would probably be about $5,000 all in for, costs, labor, and all that sort of stuff.
Really? Where else are they gonna stripe besides down by the river?
Oh, they were thinking of just putting a center stripe down.
Oh, I don't know that. I think with the turns is
okay.
where like going under the bridge now.
Yeah.
That Bruce came up with that idea and they did it like the next day or something like, and that was, I don't know if you've ridden your bike on the bike path where you go under the bridge. I don't know.
Under Fourth.
Under Fourth?
Mhm.
Yeah. And before there was no stripe there. It's fairly narrow there.
Yeah.
And it's blind going in and coming out from either side. So Bruce is the one that thought about that. And so there's a stripe down the middle now, so you know to like stay on the right. And I haven't had any, I used to have close calls sometimes, but I haven't had any since then.
Is there a specific place for the new striping that you're wanting, or there's specific
Well,
areas?
one of the main ones was really down on the end by the Willamette. Just, it would be, some people will bear to the right and some people will bear to
We
the
really wanted
left.
to bear to the right.
And the traffic circle normally would bear to the right, correct?
Yeah.
So anyway, we were thinking that would be a safer intermixing of bikes and pedestrians. Because if you come barreling down from
The right.
or clockwise, you're going faster and your sight distance is worse. And so we were just recommending just arrows that way.
If we have it, it might be worth just maybe putting together an actual proposal type thing, recommendation written down, very specific about what you're looking for so that they can kind of focus in on that instead.
Last time we had also included just a stripe down the length of it, but that doesn't sound
So
like
that might have
anything
been
they really want
yeah.
to do.
That's not,
And so
And
I don't think
maybe,
that's needed.
maybe if
So-
it's a smaller scope, maybe that. And
Yeah,
I
exactly. And that, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
And I bring it up, not just to keep you all up to date on what's going on and not to, I think there's still certainly, it's a fairly simplistic project overall. So I think,
Yeah.
just kind of, it may need more advocating for over time.
Yeah. Or
And
the other
communication
thing
with
we
Public
can
Works.
do is, it's really kind of on the Parks Board and the city as far as how, what kind of conflicts they're having on the logging road.
Yeah,
And, these are our recommendations, so we can always make another recommendation if we hear further.
mhm.
Or if we want to. Do you guys think we should propose that smaller one just to stay in a queue if there is one, or just hold off until we hear more thoughts?
I'm willing to hold off.
Yeah, probably so.
Hold off? Okay.
My other thought, Mindy, was kind of this 5K, which I'm believing is like full center line down. Is something that could be, we'll get to that, but that could be advocated to be added to the TSP project list. So,
Mhm.
that puts it in the realm of maybe it's funded in the next 10 years, but it's, it's in a document, it's on a list.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more teeth
Oh,
that way.
that's a great
So
idea.
it's a little more work to like kind of get
Yeah.
that in there, I would say, but it's kind of more visibility, it holds more weight when it's in an adopted document. So that's something else to think about, we could maybe.
I'm gonna bring this up on the, since we're talking about the comprehensive plan and the TSP. We had the meeting on Thursday, and I have to say, as far as the transportation plan goes, I've been wholly unimpressed by the lack of detail and just the ambiguity of everything the city's getting. Last time in 2010, they had a very thorough, going out, looking, people, really breaking things down in great detail so that the city really had tools to move forward on projects. And they came to the meeting with no detail at all and wanted us to put it forward and approve the TSP to the community for the next community meeting coming up later this month. And we told them, show us what you have. You know, you can't, yes. And so we might be doing another meeting, I don't know, but he seems to think it's all here. But the presentation was poor and we were trying to find it in our materials and there was wholly inadequate. And I don't know what the city's paying them. But I hope they get their money's worth because right now I don't feel like it is, and that's pretty strong language, but completely unimpressed. So having said that.
That, by the way, that's Mindy screaming.
Having said that, on this page, which I probably would have been nice to have copied for everyone, this is, these are literally just aspirational numbers as far as investment. And right now the city is faced with a lot of other costs, electric supply or power supply and water treatment and everything. So it's probably not a great time to bring on a lot of these extra projects, but this
will
was
say it's fairly-
aspirational.
It's fairly common for TSPs to both have funded and not
Aspirational.
Aspirational is the nice way to
Totally.
say not funded project.
Yes, exactly.
So
And
that, if the money comes
I
available,
felt
you
like
have a
all we
plan.
saw was
Oh,
aspirational.
okay, you didn't
is
get,
what it
you
felt
didn't get
like.
more than that.
No.
Oh, okay, I see.
So our aspirational under multimodal street improvement was 67.8 million in the number of projects or programs. Projects that they thought could be done and improved on in a perfect world if funds were available. And then pedestrian and bike improvement, that was 23.2 million versus the 67 million. So honestly, that's a pretty good chunk for bike ped.
Is this for the 20-year?
Yes,
What's the time frame for that?
yeah, it's a 20, let's see. Hang on, and they actually had, let's see.
It's probably a
It-
20-year.
It's a
horizon.
20-year.
Yeah.
But hopefully you update it before that. So
What's the name of the company that you're criticizing?
DKS.
DKS?
I feel like they're probably doing a little better job on the comprehensive plan maybe, but TSP, I'm not impressed with. I don't know that there's been any other than our showing up at these meetings. I don't know how much real, other than going and looking, and I don't even know who went with them or anything.
So I will say that DKS is our consulting traffic engineer, so they are kind of like actively always working on the city, and anytime they are the ones reviewing all of our traffic studies for applications, and they have a model that they're actively using. So they may not, for this specific thing, they may not, but they're very familiar with Canby because they're doing
That's
projects in
encouraging.
Canby. Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, so they know fairly well and do or review every traffic study for every new development in town that triggers a traffic study since I've been, I would say at least the last 5 years probably. I've only been 3.
Great. Are you familiar?
Yeah. I'm surprised. I've worked with them before and they do great work, so I'm surprised.
Him in particular?
Yeah.
Okay. Good,
Yeah.
I'm encouraged. So, all right. And there were 22 projects identified and 20 First Street. And anyway, so those that's great, but we just don't have as much detail as we'd like to have. Some of this is, you know, I honestly, we got more on the aspirational end of it than the real other meat. So anyway, hopefully they can get those materials better provided to us so we can better advise. But anyway, I have.
Were there any projects you saw that are aligned with, you know, hotspot conversations we've had in the past? That got
For
you
sure.
a little excited?
For
Oh,
sure.
good, okay.
For sure.
So
But
there's
again,
some
these
aren't.
are in the aspirational ones.
Oh, they're not in
Okay. Because, so I don't know what's in the other.
Sure.
So
makes
that's
sense.
where I can't
And
really
maybe that's where, you know, some advocating,
comes in.
you know, doesn't
Yeah.
hurt.
Exactly, and that's the piece I meant to say, is that we might need to do.
Yes.
They're waiting
Speak up.
for.
Yes, they're
you
waiting
guys
for
to
me
Yes,
to
put
scream,
something in the other
scream.
bucket.
It might be, yeah, it might be on us, all my complaining, so anyhow, these are, you know, like here, they said improve the Grant Street rail crossing to include hinged pedestrian gate skirts on the sidewalks. And and that's kind of across Elm and all of them to try to encourage people crossing when they shouldn't, pedestrians in particular, bikes too. And yeah, installations of sidewalks in different places. You guys are welcome to look through this, but they will be presenting this also on to the public and for public input right here, Community Summit.
The 19th, yeah. So a week from today, there's a community summit, which Mindy, all the information you saw, I think is being refined.
Is being
But,
refined and presented.
Will be presented at this meeting. So, you know, talks about transportation projects. If folks have time to come and voice their opinions, I think that holds a lot. We can, you know, can also maybe talk about maybe debrief at the next meeting, and we can bring some information for those who can't make it. Michelle, I don't know if I've given you the spiel, Gardner, I'll give you a little. So there's a community summit. So the city's doing an update to our comprehensive plan, which is kind of like our overall overarching policy guidance of what is the vision for the city for the next year. It's very, you know, high level visions. You know, this is what we see can be looking like in 20 years, and these are kind of the policies that get us there. And then related to that is the transportation system plan, which is another plan that looks 20 years into the future and says, okay, how much is Canby growing in 20 years based on the state's projections? You know, is our transportation system working right now, and what needs to be done? You know, what's the goals of the community? Is it more, you know, bike paths, sidewalks, and how, you know, what needs to be done and how do we get there in 20 years? So it's kind of these big long range plans. So they take time, and I feel like I've been saying for over a year now to tell, you know, we can get in the TSP, but this meeting next week is to talk about transportation projects that are going into the TSP, as well as the comp plan policies, which are kind of cover all the statewide planning goals, which are everything in the city pretty much. You know, how do we grow? Where do we grow? How do we preserve our natural areas? What kind of land uses do we have? So that's a 5-minute synopsis of a very complicated.
Yes. All right.
So, yeah, but I would encourage everybody to attend if you can. I know it's short notice, and I'm not sure quite, you know, what the feedback mechanism will be at the meeting, but I know that they'll be asking, you know, for feedback on the transportation projects. So.
And
So TSP is transportation safety projects.
Transportation system plan,
plan.
and then comp plan is comprehensive plan.
So everybody likes acronyms.
Yes, yeah. We love acronyms and planning.
All right. Otherwise, we also have hotspots that we often bring up around town. If you see a real messy shoulder or a parking issue or some low cost, easy fix kind of thing or hindrance or, some sort of ADA impingement. Maybe it's something as simple as someone has a sandbag in a place where, and it's the middle of August and, maybe we just need to clear that ADA ramp, So we just kind of have that as a standing agenda item. Just asking if anyone has anything they wanted to mention. Public Works will be very responsive most of the time. And so we just kind of shoot something over to them and they're usually pretty accommodating. Yes, Russ.
I was in a hotspot, but I thought I'd let you know how the community bike ride's been going.
Oh, yes, please.
Well,
Which we're at outreach. You are now outreach.
okay. Well, we used to do, no, we didn't do it. I mean, it started at the bike shop, which we used to have a bike shop in town. And there was a community bike ride every Tuesday. We used to do, there was big enough groups, they do Tuesday and Thursday. And, but when Tony quit, it kind of fell off. And so I suggested that maybe we should try to revitalize that. So I took it upon myself. I guess I assigned myself to it. And it's probably part of the reason. Well, okay, we've had extremely hot weather, you might have noticed. That killed off one bike ride. The first couple of them, I tried to do it on Wednesdays so it wouldn't conflict, and every other week. And Wednesdays, people didn't want to do Wednesdays, so I switched back to Tuesday and every other week. And I tried to do it when it wouldn't conflict with this, but after a few decided that it was too hard to go every other. People needed to know that it was every week. Well, it doesn't have a wide enough information. So we've had, I did the community bike ride once with myself.
Oh, yeah.
And last
Did
week,
you enjoy yourself?
yeah, I had a good time. I didn't
Were
do
you
the
good
whole,
company?
I didn't do the whole, 12 miles. I just did 7. And then last week, Kevin Claggett and I rode, and we were the only two, and we ended up going like 13. We had a good time. But, we've had more people, but there's been various things, like one time somebody's bike broke down, and then there was another, conflicts. And I'm thinking, CARBS, are you familiar with, are you on Facebook? Well, CARBS stands for Canby Area Recreational Bike something.
Yeah.
And that's what I've used to notify people. And there aren't that many members. So if you go on Facebook, look at it and join out, because I've indicated when, usually the day before. And I said, I don't know if they rode today or not, because I couldn't ride. So I guess maybe somebody will tell me. Well, no, I take that back. I called it off because the weather was so hot, because I knew nobody would ride in today's weather, although I rode down here. But anyway, that's what's been going on. And unfortunately, Mindy can never make it. And Bruce said that's dinner time for him. He actually told me that. Yeah.
What time are you running it?
6 o'clock on Tuesdays, and meet here at the library.
Are e-bikes allowed?
Yes, I ride an e-bike.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it was a great deal. We used to have as many as like 20 people.
Right.
And we afterwards, a number of us would go and eat someplace afterwards, have a beer, have a taco, whatever. And it was a great community thing. That's why I met a lot of people. And, but it just needs to be reinvigorated. And
It was pretty great. I mean, for quite a while.
yeah. And there were people from, because it was started with the bike shop, he had all of his customers knew about it.
Yeah.
So that was a factor. Anyway, so that's the story on the bike ride.
So Russ, I guess the one thing I was worried about with Britt's departure is, do you have access to the CARBS Facebook?
So Britt's gone.
Well, I'm a member. I'm not to,
She did have 3.
you know, Brian, I've never met him. I just see him on Facebook, but the guy that started the website never was able to go on any bike rides, so I've never met him.
Oh,
But he says he
really?
wants to go. And
So
his
you
name-
can, we have access to it, I
yeah,
was
just you can
supposed or
you can
something.
just go on and join, and
Okay.
they
cool.
aren't gonna make you jump through any
Sure,
hoops
sure.
if you want to.
I just want to make sure that we still had a way to communicate, because I know that that's a
Yes.
big, point of.
And
I
we
thought about
have
going on
the-
Canby now, but that's just too. I
Yeah,
figured I'd start getting people trashing bike riders and stuff,
Yeah.
you never know what you're gonna do
Yeah.
there, so I didn't go on there, I didn't put it on there.
and then, yeah, the one we had through that Brett was doing was the,
Oh, that was the
The-
logging
the
road.
logging
Oh, I
road.
did put it on, the first time I put it on the logging road,
Good.
but that
I
was,
think both, yeah.
but I don't know that.
I don't know that anyone looks at that
Mhm.
much.
Well, no, I keep getting stuff that says every day, like, there's lots of people that look at it.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Is it also on Facebook?
What?
Yep.
Yeah, it's, let's see.
Did we ever resolve, or do we know if we resolved the bike fix park, the issue with the, was it?
Oh.
Yes, the pump. Did we
The
ever
pump.
get in contact with the right? Bruce was gonna do that, right?
Yeah, and
Thank you, Michelle.
I think-
Remembering.
I even went and
Oh,
took
20
pictures and I think I sent it in, but now.
20
I-
hours ago, Canby Logging Road had 19 new views,
I'll follow up. on that.
so
So it's just called Canby Logging Road?
Canby Logging Road, yeah. And everybody on the committee in the past has been a, what do you call them?
I'm like an admin of the page?
An admin, yeah. So I guess, and Britt's taking care of that, Britt Ash is taking care of that.
Britt Ash.
Yeah, she's a
Well,
member. and-
Britt is no longer on the committee.
Yeah,
She's not on the committee. Well, then she's no longer in charge of it then.
so.
Well, we'll turn it over to her uncle, Cliff.
Okay.
I'm not on Facebook.
Uh-oh.
Well,
In fact,
that's a,
It's
that's
never
a
too late,
problem.
Cliff.
I'm anti-Facebook.
Well, I don't really blame you in theory, but it's a good connection.
So technically Britt's still, she's just not.
Well, yeah, just,
Yeah,
well,
she's,
she kind of ran it, but
she kind of ran it, but we all had access.
Yeah.
And so, and she was kind of our outreach person. So if we wanted something posted on there, we kind of reached out to her. If there's someone who would be interested in possibly taking on that role, we can talk about it next time. And although we can all post, but it's always nice to have one person to kind of make sure we kind of keep it going a little bit. So if you know for sure you want to do it, let us know. Otherwise, we can talk about it next time. And as far as recruitment goes, any other, welcome to Gardner. Thank you for being here.
Counselor Waterman.
All right. And otherwise, our next meeting will be September 9th. And our minute taker will be Cliff, if you're willing,
Uh,
if you're. Mhm.
there's no
And.
paper minutes because Cliff took them for years.
And otherwise,
One quick question, since we have
yes,
that map up.
please.
You want the-
So who would you talk to? There are homemade signs right now, but right here is a trash can, but there's no dog pickup. Who would you talk to about having a dog poop pickup bag?
So
station?
added. Public Parks, Public Works.
Public Works.
Public Works is under, or Parks is
Okay.
under Public Works.
Yeah,
I can give you.
Because there's handmade signs around that says, please pick up, and there's only 2 stations. One is at the beginning, Echo Park, and then there's one midway by the wastewater treatment, but there's nothing past that. There is a trash can, but there's no, like, a dog
I
pickup
think I
station.
have a Public Works card over there
Okay,
before you
great.
leave. I'll go grab it.
Okay, perfect. That would be helpful.
I'm also bouncing around. I realized I wanted to mention, this subdivision,
Yep.
here should be starting very shortly. So there will probably be some impacts to Holly. I'm not sure if you guys are riding up there.
And
Your route.
technically that new subdivision can have 100 cars in it total. So the corner of Holly and Territorial is going to become very busy.
It's 16 houses.
Yeah, but technically you
Where's
can
this at?
have, it's 3-car garages. You can have so many cars in the garage, so many on the apron, and so many on the street. And it's 100 cars total. Because I went to the meeting.
Which property is it?
Sorry. This one here,
Okay.
1733 North Holly. It's a 16 lot subdivision.
But it's gonna be very busy on that North
So I mean,
Territorial
that means
and Holly.
everything's being taken down.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All the trees are gone.
Holly's
So,
county road, right?
Yes, this section, so basically from here north is Holly Road, excuse me, is County Road.
Is this, are we taking the road up to that subdivision?
We annexed, so this got annexed, I think,
remember that, yep.
and so we annexed it, so if and when we are ready to, it's a little bit easier to coordinate that, but it's now like up to here or maybe here. It's within city limits, but that doesn't automatically make it a city road. We still have to do a
Okay.
jurisdictional transfer,
Okay,
which
but
is
is
not improved, so it probably would be
so
sometime.
is that development gonna be completely done, but that road will still be part of the county?
Correct. So they're building it to county standards because the county gets to dictate what the frontage improvements on Holly are, which is really not that different from what I think most of our standards are. And so they're mimicking what was done on Dodds. So I think
So-
it's
But we don't have a
similar.
sidewalk on North
So what
Territorial.
will,
So people walking in the street, now we have added,
so this side is
so
redone all the way up there.
Not
No.
on
No.
this property.
Right here?
so
Okay, from here up it is,
Correct.
somewhere
Yes.
up in here.
Correct.
From where this starts, I guess.
yeah.
Right.
So will this now, so we'll have a section from here to here that will be nice?
Correct.
So then we'd be bad,
Yes.
nice, bad.
again,
That's
orphan,
the gap too.
orphan sidewalks.
Yeah.
But I
And
think
then that
maybe
four
we should,
corners, not 88.
should this committee push to advocate that when that's, I mean, I feel like missed the boat. You know,
You
Except-
can't require improvements here because there's not enough of a nexus.
Right.
there's not enough of what?
There's not legal nexus.
Yeah.
They didn't trigger improvements to this intersection.
Yeah.
And so legally, you can't say you have to put a sidewalk in here because of the distance from the subdivision.
But just know that people walk in the street already on North Territorial, especially going towards Ivy. And now you're gonna have, I mean, a bunch more cars coming.
Did you say Nexus?
Well, now the church there, I heard that was gonna become
That's
the
the
adult
adult
center.
center. Yeah, they already
think it is.
purchased that.
Which do you remember, Michelle, what the sidewalk?
It's missing they only need to improve. It's right here, 20 feet is missing right here.
Oh, so
But
the
that's
rest
all they have
has
to
had.
do.
Oh.
Oh, they don't have to add
No,
any
They
other
do
sidewalk?
not, because it's a conditional use permit and a change.
It's a change of use, not a new.
Change of like, yeah, but they went through a big thing talking about the sidewalk in there on Territorial when they came to the city council and all that they want to make sure you can come from the old center all the way up Ivy with walking, being able to walk.
Oh.
And so there's only 20 feet right there that needs to be fixed.
But they don't want to take it to the corner.
No, because then you get into the ADA requirements, and so they were talking about
What's
the,
the problem with that?
what?
What's the problem with that?
Cost.
Sorry, cost, it's 20, my understanding is 20,000 per quarter to make it ADA accessible.
20,000?
20,000 with the little yellow bumpy pads. So they were talking about accessing.
But it's a senior center,
I know.
right?
I
Oh my
know,
But I
gosh.
want that
But
done.
they're,
I walk that all the time. I want that done.
yeah, I know, but hey, I just started going to. My mom loves the senior center, so that's why we came, and that's why I partially joined this committee. But you're seeing too, past like coming down Holly, there's no sidewalks there either.
Right.
You've got all that, yeah, but we're not required to put in sidewalks on Territorial. It's only that 20 feet that they're required to put in.
So,
Because it has to do with that intersection, because the same time they were talking about the senior center, they were talking about that new development. And if you take a look at it, it's 100 cars they can have in there. If every parking space is filled, in the garages, on the aprons, on the street.
Half of them will be giant trucks.
Right. So I'm just saying, there potentially can be 100 cars coming out of that.
I'm jumping away from traffic as it is.
I know.
mhm.
So anyways, that's partially why I'm on this committee.
The developer did call this 3-car garage the Canby Special when they were talking about.
Yeah, they're all
Can be
three,
special.
they're all 3-car
You
garages.
can't get that anywhere else in the.
Yeah, they're all 3-car garages. And then it has a really weird access for fire and because it's a cul-de-sac. It'll be a cul-de-sac. So anyways, that's about all I know.
The hard part is once, this is something we'll start to see more, we've kind of developed for the most part, most of the north, but what you'll start to see is this is not in city limits currently. This is not even in the UGB. So you're starting, we've developed so much in what we have that you're starting to get out to the areas that are, piecemealing development and it's.
And they were talking about that North Grant Street going through to the backside of the new development, to taking that road up that
Oh, yeah.
way. So North Grant would cross over Territorial and go up to that new development eventually. But right now it's a cul-de-sac development.
Well, eventually is a long time.
But yeah, it was very interesting, that meeting.
Was there any talk about IFA, the tree farm?
I have no idea. No, I was, like I said, that's pretty much what I retained from going to that meeting.
I know that the planning department has been talking to them about the UGB expansion.
About what?
UGB,
Growth boundary.
they've been in communication. And with all the property owners, basically within the area of the UGB, that we are evaluating. for
But a lot
UGB
of that's out of the growth boundary, isn't that all dahlia fields? Isn't that Swan Island dahlias?
A lot of
Yeah.
Well,
Up
For you have
some
the
of it,
turquoise,
but
the turquoise.
no,
No,
This is
no,
all I am.
that's
not
a
dahlia.
tree farm,
Oh, is
as
that tree
well
farm?
as the
Oh,
big
yeah, okay.
brown
They're up there by
Okay.
where Birch
to the
turns.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So anyways,
You may see some closure or, impacts on Holly if you're trying to ride.
I like the tree farm.
do you know
Could've
when
bought
they're,
it for $4 million.
because
You could have bought it for $4 million.
The tree farm?
Or
that piece
this
of property,
Oh,
So
that
do you
had
know-
been colonist.
when they're breaking ground, because don't we already have Knight Bridge closed and the
Correct.
ferries open later to help with that, so
Yeah, bless you.
is
They
it gonna be simultaneously or?
they have all the approvals, so they can start whenever they choose. I think they're wanting to start pretty quickly. The road, the improvements on Holly will come last.
Right.
They need to demo the house and grade the lot and start the improvements on the property before, if they start here, they'll diminish what they built by construction. So that'll be the end of
Can you tell me again how many houses?
16
16.
lots. Single family homes is what they're.
60?
16.
No,
16, okay, I was
It's
like,
16.
there's no one.
No,
Okay, 16 times 3.
As my wife will want to know.
Yeah,
Uh,
16.
okay.
One road through
All 3-car garages.
all 3 cars.
Okay, well,
28-foot wide aprons, probably.
I-
For their driveway.
gosh, I really feel like we should have sidewalks
Yes,
all over that intersection, all
Right.
over Territorial and Ollie there.
It was,
Oh my
it
God.
was a big discussion on that meeting.
This house is, you know, you have to think about
That yellow house?
the pink house.
Oh, the pink is pink.
Yes. That house is, I can't remember if it's in city limits. It's certainly not annexed if it's in the UGB already.
Could we have pushed to have the developer also have put sidewalks on that lot at all?
You don't have
If they
legal,
had,
you don't have legal
agreed.
nexus to,
what's that?
you don't have legal nexus. So there's
I mean,
been
if the
state
property owners
laws.
agreed. Don't know.
I don't know. That would be messy.
I mean, I'm sure there's a
Who's paying?
answer to that, but I don't know. But
Because, you
it
know,
just
yeah,
feels
there's
like there
costs.
should be more arm twisting we can do. Okay,
Some of it's just code and law. There's not much you can do to
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, and you
change the
know,
code.
there's been many years of, there's a reason there's state laws around legal nexus for transportation improvements, because over time,
yeah.
you know, it's been overly required, and so that's why we have to do these whole studies to show, you know, where are the impacts going to. So, you know, if they had triggered something here, they probably wouldn't have, given the size of this intersection, they wouldn't have had to redo the intersection, but we would have said, oh, you're adding X number of trips, we anticipate the improvements to put us, I don't know if it's planned for this intersection, but let's just say for the sake of this conversation, a signal with sidewalks at this intersection, your X amount of trips equate to this estimated cost of the project. Is all that you can require. So even if they did trigger, you know, this intersection may not have been done in time for because, you know, does the city have the money to do
But
the
can
rest of
they-
it?
At least put it in a fund for,
Yes, it would go, you know,
It would,
you
okay.
take their level of impact to the, I forget, fee in lieu is what it's called. So you're taking their piece of the pie of impact basically and putting it in the fund for when that project gets done, and that directly goes to that project.
I read it, but I still don't understand Nexus.
Yeah, it's fun. Maybe we'll get the lawyers here.
if there isn't any further comments, we can
Adjourn.
adjourn. Move to adjourn, second, all in favor, aye at 7:33. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night.
Are you ready to put a wedding band on?
Almost. How many months? May.
Just don't know why this, it wouldn't write on this paper, it wrote on the other paper.
I'm not ready.
Okay, I joined
I'll
your
be
page.
running late.
Awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
I had
And I
my
just
family
typed
here
these
for
up
a week.
Send them to you.
Happy to hear that we
And Emma.
There we go.
To go.
Yes.
So Emma, so
And there was a lot of agreement, right?
Yeah.